So bottom line is, in just 1 month, despite all the problems that we've seen with the website, more than 500,000 Americans could know the security of healthcare by January 1st. Many of them for the first time in their lives. And that's life-changing and it's significant. That still leaves about 1 million Americans who successfully made it through the website. And now qualify to buy insurance, but haven't picked a plan yet. And there's no question that if the website were working as it's supposed to, that number would be much higher of people who have actually enrolled. So that's problem number one, making sure that the website works the way it's supposed to. It's gotten a lot better over the last few weeks than it was on the first day. But we're working 24/7 to get it working for the vast majority of Americans in a smooth, consistent way. The other problem that has received a lot of attention concerns Americans who have received letters from their insurers that they may be losing. The plans they bought in the old individual market, often because they no longer meet the law's requirements to cover basic benefits like prescription drugs or doctor's visits. Now, as I indicated earlier, I completely get how upsetting this can be for a lot of Americans. Particularly after assurances they heard from me that if they had a plan that they liked, they could keep it. And to those Americans, I hear you loud and clear. I said that I would do everything we can to fix this problem. And today I'm offering an idea that will help do it. Already, people who have plans that predate the Affordable Care Act can keep those plans if they haven't changed. That was already in the law. That's what's called a grandfather clause. It was included in the law. Today, we're going to extend that principle both to people whose plans have changed since the law took effect. And to people who bought plans since the law took effect. So state insurance commissioners still have the power to decide what plans can and can't be sold in their states. But the bottom line is, insurers can extend current plans that would otherwise be cancelled into 2014. And Americans whose plans have been cancelled can choose to re-enroll in the same kind of plan. We're also requiring insurers to extend current plans to inform their customers about two things. One, what protections these renewed plans don't include. And number two, that the marketplace offers new options with better. Coverage and tax credits that might help you bring down the cost. So if you've received one of these letters, I'd encourage you to take a look at the marketplace. Even if the website isn't working as smoothly as it should be for everybody yet. The plan comparison tool that lets you browse costs for new plans near you is working just fine. Now, this fix won't solve every problem for every person. But it's going to help a lot of people. Doing more will require work with Congress. And I've said from the beginning. I'm willing to work with Democrats and Republicans to fix problems as they arise. This is an example of what I was talking about. We can always make this law work better. It is important to understand, though, that the old individual market was not working well. And it's important that we don't pretend that somehow that's a place worth going back to. Too often, it works fine as long as you stay healthy, it doesn't work well when you're sick. So year after year, Americans were routinely exposed to financial ruin, or denied coverage due to minor pre-existing conditions. Or dropped from coverage altogether even if they paid their premiums on time. That's one of the reasons we pursued this reform in the first place. And that's why I will not accept proposals that are just another brazen attempt. To undermine or repeal the overall law and drag us back into a broken system? We will continue to make the case, even to folks who choose to keep their own plans. That they should shop around in the new marketplace because there's a good chance that they'll be able to buy better insurance at lower cost. So we're going to do everything we can to help the Americans who have received these cancellation notices. But I also want everybody to remember there are still $40 million Americans who don't have health insurance at all. I'm not going to walk away from 40 million people who have the chance to get health insurance for the first time. And I'm not going to walk away from something that has helped. The cost of healthcare grow at its slowest rate in 50 years. So we're at the opening weeks of the project to build a better healthcare system for everybody. A system that will offer real financial security and peace of mind to millions of Americans. It is a complex process. There are all kinds of challenges. I'm sure there will be additional challenges that come up. And it's important that we're honest and straightforward in terms of when we come up with a problem with these reforms and these laws, that we address them. But we've got to move forward on this. It took 100 years for us to even get to the point where we could start talking. About and implementing a law to make sure everybody has got health insurance. And my pledge to the American people is that we're going to solve the problems that are there. We're going to get it right, and the Affordable Care Act is going to work for the American people. So with that, I'm going to take your questions, and I'm going to start with Julie Pace of AP. Question: Thank you, MR. President. The combination of the website problems and the concerns over the policy cancellations. Has sparked a lot of worry within your own party, and polls also show that you're taking some hits. With the public on both your overall job approval rating and also on factors like trust and honesty. Do you feel as though the flawed healthcare rollout has led to a breach in the public trust and confidence in government? And if so, how do you plan to resolve that? President Obama, there is no doubt that people are frustrated. We just came out of a shutdown and the possibility that for the first time in over 200 years, we wouldn't pay our bills. And people breathed a sigh of relief when that finally got done, and the next thing they know is that the president's healthcare reform can't get the website to work, and that there are these other problems with respect to cancellation notices. And I understand why folks are frustrated. I would be, too. Because sometimes people look at what's taking place in Washington and they say, not enough is getting done that helps me with my life. And regardless of what Congress does, ultimately I'm the President of the United States and they expect me to do something about it. So in terms of how I intend to approach it, I'm just going to keep on working as hard as I can around the priorities that the American people care about. And I think it's legitimate for them to expect me to have to win back some credibility. On this healthcare law in particular, and on a whole range of these issues in general. And that's on me. I mean, we fumbled the rollout on this healthcare law. There are a whole bunch of things about it that are working really well which people didn't notice. Because they weren't controversial, so making sure kids could stay on their parents' plans until they were. Through the age of 25, and making sure that seniors got more discounts on their prescription drugs. There were a whole bunch of stuff that we did well over the first 3 years. But we always knew that these marketplaces, creating a place where people can shop and through competition get a better deal for the health insurance that their families need. We always knew that that was going to be complicated and everybody was going to be paying a lot of attention to it. And we should have done a better job getting that right on day 1, not on day 28 or on day 40. I am confident that by the time we look back on this next year, that people are going to say this is working well, and it's helping a lot of people. But my intention in terms of winning back the confidence of the American people is just to work as hard as I can. Identify the problems that we've got, make sure that we're fixing them. Whether it's a website, whether it is making sure that folks who got these cancellation notices get help. We're just going to keep on chipping away at this until the job is done. Major Garrett. Question, thank you, Mr. President. You said while the law was being debated, if you like your plan, you can keep it. You said after the law was implemented or signed, if you like your plan, you can keep it. Americans believed you, sir, when you said that to them over and over. Do you not believe, sir, the American people deserve a deeper, more transparent accountability from you as to why you said that over and over when your own statistic published in the federal? Register alerted your policy staff and I presume you to the fact that millions of Americans would. In fact, probably fall into the very gap you're trying to administratively fix now. That's one question. Second question. Laughter. You were informed, or several people in this building were informed 2 weeks. Before the launch of the website that it was failing the most basic tests internally. And yet a decision was made to launch the website on October 1st. Did you, sir, make that test? And if so, did you regret that?